Independent energy analyst Andrew Kenny now on the line to talk about our electricity problems. Good morning to you, Andrew. I think we're moving now beyond what the load shedding schedule is. We're getting used to that. It's no longer news. I think there's perhaps a more strategic question to ask. Is Eskom up to the job of managing this crisis that we're in?
Well, it's not doing a very good job so far. The dismissal of Andrew Etzinger, who one trusted and who would admit when things are going wrong, his dismissal just adds to our feeling of insecurity about Eskom. Can I just say there's so much nonsense spoken about what's gone wrong. Can I just give a very brief, simple history of what's gone wrong? It's simple. When this new government came into office in 1994, it was very clear then that we had to build power stations, start building about 1996, or else we were going to run out of electricity. The ANC then predicted under it 6% economic growth. If we'd had that, we would have run out in 2001. Our growth was actually unexpectedly low, so it helps us. And when President Zuma says we were caught victims of our own success, it is complete nonsense. We're victims of our own incompetence and lack of success. So we should have built around about 1996. We didn't. And as a result, we ran out of electricity in 2007. Since then, Eskom simply has not been able to meet demand. It's run its power stations like mad to try their best. Lacking maintenance, and they're falling apart now, and they're falling apart more and more often, failing more and more often, and we face more and more blackouts for 5 years at least.
Andrew, it's Tumisho here. We understand the situation that we're in, and yes, there is a lack of confidence, but listening to commentary from some of the CEOs in South Africa, they seem to have a hold of the situation. They are talking about having more generators, hoping for some stability, bringing in teams that are going to help them move forward. So is it perhaps that maybe they are privy to some of the information where they're being able to handle it so well, whereas the normal consumer seems to still be taken aback by the situation?
Well, they're not privy to anything. The fact is that it's a complete mess. And we've been hearing from them, Medupi, which is going to come to the rescue eventually, is 5 years late. And we keep on hearing, oh, we're going to synchronize in January. And then, oh, no, we're not. And everything comes... It seems to be pushed back more and more. I think what would help if Eskom was just absolutely truthful with us and came forward and said, look, this is an absolute mess. I've been just listening to wartime speeches of Winston Churchill. And the first thing he said when he came into power, I've got nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat. And I think it'd be nice if the CEO of Eskom said, listen, I've got nothing to offer but blackouts, switch-offs and candles. Just tell the truth. Churchill, in those early days of the war, he said the news is very bad. We've lost here, we've lost there, so forth. And they should be doing the same. We should say, look, there's been a mess-up at say, Letaba Power Station, where, because of our incompetence, the ash has built up, and we're now on much reduced load. We've managed to break a silo at Majuba. We've had accidents at Duva and 2 accidents at Duva, which is probably caused by our own incompetence. We apologize, and this is our plan forward. Every morning at Eskom, the senior managers get a morning report which tells them exactly the state of the stations on the grid. Well, why not make that public? Why not post that on their website so we can all see what's going on?
Andrew, you are an engineer. You've worked in this field. What's your sense of the skills level at Eskom? Do they have the people who can analyze the situation, work out what has to be done, and then do it, whether it's engineers or technicians? Have they got the people to do what they need to do? Okay, there's various answers. First of all, the skills for building power stations, the last power station they built before the recent ones, was Majuba, which began in 1983. So the skills for building, for project management and so forth, those are gone, and those are one of the reasons Medupi and Kusile are in such a mess. They've also lost, through affirmative action and so forth.
they've lost a lot of skilled white engineers and technicians and managers and so forth. Nonetheless, there are a lot of skills remaining, but I just don't think enough. And what makes it worse is that the skilled people aren't allowed to make purely technical decisions. They're overruled by political considerations, such as in the coal supply, for example. Had a perfectly good coal supply in the old days, and this was replaced by BEE coal contractors that gave expensive, poor quality coal to Eskom, which was one of the reasons for the disaster in January 2008, when a whole lot of our coal stations shut down and they had to close down the gold mines.
Thanks so much to our independent energy analyst. That was Andrew Kenny.